Radical. The LA Lakers are not doing what I need them to do. I need them to start winning some games, specifically against no-name teams. No-name teams. The Sacramento Kings. Who's the all-star on the Sacramento Kings? Didn't they just lose their coach? Ironically, wasn't he the coach that used to coach the Lakers? I need them to start winning some games. Because if they continue to be this terrible, LeBron will trade half the team away and get a different team, and then, they might make it to the finals. Probably not. But I need them to actually show some promise so they don't go into crisis mode and, blow up the team. They are 10-11 right now. They lost to the Kings, and the way they lost to the Kings was pretty spectacular. I looked at the score, and I can't remember if it was near the end of regulation or near the end of the first overtime, but the Lakers were up like 6-7 points with a minute left, and they just choked. I saw the end of regulation. I saw LeBron James, the great King LeBron James, hoist up a three and clunked. He bricked it. What happened at the end of the first overtime? On this really amazing team with great coaching, the Lakers, great ball movement. Guess what happens? LeBron James, the exact same spot, takes the exact same shot to win the game, and he does it. LeBron is not clutch. That's one thing he is not. He was 2 from 13 from 3 in this game against the 8 and 12, the 8 and 12 Sacramento Kings. The Lakers put fear into no one. A team with LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, and Anthony Davis, 3 future Hall of Famers. This team can't put fear into the Sacramento Kings. So what makes it worse is it's not like LeBron had a bad game points-wise. He put up 30 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds. He just, choked at the end with all those threes. Anthony Davis, 23, 4 assists, 8 rebounds. Let's see, Russell Westbrook, 29 points, 11 assists, 10 rebounds. So in a game where the 3 of, their stars get almost 100 points, they still lose to the Sacramento Kings. I can't stress that enough. They're 10-11, and they've had a lot of easy games at home. They've had a lot of easy games against terrible teams. Now, what made this loss even worse for the Lakers is the Kings have Buddy Hield. They could have got Buddy Hield, and he had a pretty impressive game here. 25 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. They could have got him for cheap, They could have got him for less than they winded up giving for Russell Westbrook. And Buddy Hield is a lot better player than Russell Westbrook. He's a lot more efficient specifically and would have been a much better fit on that Lakers team. If they had Buddy Hield, possibly they would have a winning record right now, but they do not. They had to lose, and they were tied 10-10. They had beat the Pacers, so they had 10 wins, 10 losses, and they had a giant celebration over beating the Pacers by 8 points. That's the problem with this team is they're having these giant celebrations when they beat trash teams. An interesting stat here, and there's a lot of stats, but I won't go into them all. Interesting stat here is the Lakers have not beat any team over 10 points this season so far. No one fears the Lakers. The Lakers are not going to come into your house and blow you out. They're not. They're just not. Now, what makes this even worse is this loss came to a team without 2 starters. The Kings didn't even have 2 starters. All around, just a terrible loss for the Lakers. Looking at the playoff picture, in comparison, the Warriors are 15-2. The Warriors beat the Trailblazers with Damian Lillard, a guy who you actually know, an actual big-name all-star. They beat that team by 15 points without Klay Thomas, without James Wiseman. Maybe the Lakers just look at it like, we're not going to beat the Warriors. So they're just celebrating when they beat the Pacers by 8 points. Interesting stat. The Lakers, a team that people used to fear, have not beaten any team by over 10 points this season. There's been no blowouts, I think the biggest win they had was against the Rockets, the worst team in the league, by 10 points. So, yeah, What are your thoughts on this game? Did you check out this game? In general, what do you think the Lakers need to do to salvage their season, if anything? Because like I said, I need them to salvage their season, start winning some games, so then it's that much more satisfying when this team gets to the playoffs and then gets destroyed probably in the first round.